You can run, but you can't hide. Well, there you are. Yet you caught me with doing my new favorite pastime, and that's bug hunting with my vacuum cleaner. I never thought it. This is actually fun. If you can't have fun in the garden, it's just work. Well, today's Saturday, and you know what that means. We're gonna go to you and celebrate what's going on in your garden. Then we're gonna take a quick review of this garden, see how things are growing. You know what I found by doing this every day? There's not very many squash bugs. So let me see if I can't scare up a few more. And while I do that, let's go ahead and take a look at one of our favorite viewers, Walter's garden. So far, Walter's timing is pretty good. His potatoes are starting to make, and he'll have those plants pulled up, give him extra room for the other plants to grow. Walter, this is spectacular. I can't believe how much you squeeze into that small area. Walter, watching the progression of your small garden is inspiring to us all. I've only got one cruciate that's come up so far, and I planted a couple more. Well, I don't see them, so we're gonna go ahead and put a couple more seeds in the ground. We've got a green and an orange, and I can't tell you which one this one is. So I'm gonna put one patch of orange and one patch of green. I'm gonna put 3 or 4 seeds in each area. Just pull that mulch back. Soil is nice. I'm gonna poke them down there just a little bit. Good soil contact. Just a light little bit of mulch. And there's some orange. Let's go over here. Just look at that soil. Just look at that soil underneath. And the mycorrhizal fungi in there. We'll put just a little bit of leaf back up on there. I was asked a question why my leaves look so dry and how I kept them that way. Actually, it's just dry on top. Where you have them pretty thick, it's still going to be good and damp, and they're going to create some really nice leaf mold. And that's wonderful for the life in the soil. I want to talk to you for a second about no-till gardening and why it works. You know, I discovered this because I didn't want to weed anymore. But actually, a no-till garden, the weeds aren't really a big deal. The whole point is tilling churns up the life that's in the soil. The life in the soil is what breaks down the minerals that are in the rock, the sand, silt, and clay that is naturally in the ground. They eat it, other critters eat them, and they make those nutrients plant available. The plants take them up. The plants provide sugars, releases as exudates, they just send that down into the soil, attracts the bacteria they need to make enzymes to break down the minerals that they need. It's a nice little cycle. When you till, you create a compaction layer, so then you have to add commercial fertilizer. And that's a vicious cycle. By no-tilling and putting deep mulch over everything, you allow that life to multiply and continue to multiply. And by putting leaves down that turn into leaf mold, and by allowing wood chips to break down into mycorrhizal fungi, and then the other bacteria that's in the environment, and they all congregate right around that root zone. So yeah, you get a really good benefit with the deep mulch and not having too many weeds. Right here we've got a tomato that's coming up on its own. That must have been one of those overly vine-ripe tomatoes that fell on the ground before I could get it. We've got watermelon. It's coming up on its own. We had a little watermelon patch. This was the line of the old fence. This was something that either something ate, or it just fell, or half rotted, but its seeds made it through the winter. We're gonna have some kind of watermelon right here. And then our cilantro, it's getting ready to bolt, but we've been eating off of that, and it came up on its own. The life in the soil will produce enough nutrients for all the roots that are in the soil, as long as we don't till it up and kill that life. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tomatoes already set. And this is one of those container garden tomatoes. We planted this a little while ago, but it's growing nicely. And we've got a couple suckers we're gonna let go. We've got another little cluster of flowers. These are supposed to be little yellow cherry tomatoes. I'm pretty excited. Never tried those before. But while we're here, this leaf kind of touching the ground in there. Let's go ahead and prune that off. So every time you're looking at something, you're inspecting it. And the one tool you should always have with you is a pair of clippers. And just look at our sunchokes. You know, sunchokes are another form of sunflower. They just create a real starchy tuber underneath that are delicious. Since we are over here on the north side of the garden, I can see amaranth coming up here underneath our sunflowers. But I also found another pack, and this says good, 12 feet tall, 14-inch heads. I got a handful of seeds here, so we're gonna go ahead and plant these. We're gonna make one nice little sunflower patch, see what we get. Speaking of sunflowers, we've got a new contributor, Joni, and her dog, Poncho. They've made a wonderful garden. Let's go take a look. The beds, the mulch, set in underneath these giant pines. This is gorgeous. Joni, that was wonderful, and Poncho looks like a hard-working dog. Thank you, and welcome to this community. If you'd leave a comment down below and let everybody know just how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their garden, it would help YouTube push this out to more people that might want to learn how to grow things. Getting back to seeds we start in a garden versus the ones we start in containers, this one we started in a container. It's a little bigger than the one we started by seed, but we got a long ways to go. Talking about sunflowers, we also have another contributor, Delphina. That is an awesome sunflower, and adding the compost bin to the garden, that's going to bring in tons of fertility. When you're gardening this close to nature, sometimes nature gets a few, but you still get quite a lot. This is wonderful. Her garden is wonderful. She did lose a squash from a vine borer, and I don't know if my new little squash bug tool is going to help with the vine borers, but it's definitely helping with the squash bugs. Our third round of turnips, our carrot hack carrots, our third round of beets, our first round of corn are all holding their own. I was asked if this would tear leaves, and I think if you hit a young leaf on the end, it's going to tear it. But down around the stems, I've collected quite a few of these bugs, and I haven't hurt the plant at all. But I never thought I'd be disappointed by not finding any squash bugs. That's okay. I caught several. While I continue to look for some critters to vacuum up, let's go ahead and take a look at what Art's up to. Well, I think I figured out why Art went ahead and planted his bananas next to his new pool. He's been on vacation down in Florida. He's been pretty impressed about what they've been able to do in their climate. Check out these pineapples. And the flowers are just gorgeous. All right, you know, if you had palm trees in your front yard, you just have to get out a ladder and trim them up. But I do appreciate you taking us on vacation with you. And if you hit that like button, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. And this is why we do it, because it tastes great. And you can do this too. Now we found a squash that just kind of started on its own back here. Take a look at this. This is a great example of flower where you root. Actually, there's two of them back in here. I don't see any squash bugs on either one of them. But I know they're going to use the blackberries as a trellis. But just look at those blackberries. These are just loaded. I probably could have made some blueberry jelly if I'd kept my hands off of them. These are too good. Just a quick update on our orange watermelon. We got several coming up. We ought to be pretty good this year. Not going to guarantee another 38-pounder, but these were sure good tasting. I do want to thank you for helping celebrate what our friends and neighbors are doing around the world in their gardens, and I hope you join us. Till next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.